folks, and welcome back to another Travels of Red Rover. This morning, Corinne and I and our friend Kenneth are out photographing this beautiful mountain behind us. What you'll be able to see as I darken this up a little bit is what makes this mountain particularly pretty is it's a patchwork of color, yellows and greens, dark greens with the stone of the mountain in the background, and an absolutely beautiful, dark, deep blue sky today. So we're going to be out photographing mountains like this, and then we're going to head into the forests as we photograph an area of Colorado called the Kebler Pass. It should be a great day, and we're looking forward to it, and we're glad you're going to join us. So buckle up, get ready, and let's go.
Good morning. Well, the goal here this morning with this shot is to get the whole mountain in the photo and get all of the color that is in the vista, from the yellows to the light greens to the dark greens, and also use these aspens in the foreground to help highlight and balance the photo out. I'm basically shooting HDRs this morning, so that's 3 shots. I'll combine into one later into Lightroom. Usually gives you just a little bit better shot and allows you to hopefully get a gallery shot. We're going to have a lot of fun today and be taking a lot of wonderful photos in different places along Kebler Pass here, and I hope you enjoy what we have to show you later. Thank you.
So Kenneth, tell us what a gallery shot is versus the family shot.
A gallery shot is one that, for me, that I'm willing to print, which I'm pretty picky. I don't print a lot of the photos I take, so we're down here for 6 days or so shooting fall color. Out of the 6 days that we shoot, I might get, if I have a really good week, I might get up to 15 to 20 shots that I will print. On a normal week, I'll probably have 10 to 12. So that's the difference in between a gallery shot and a family shot for me.
And just so that we're clear on this, what's your favorite football team?
I think it's the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, just if we weren't sure. Okay, so let's get up and go to the next shot.
Sounds great.
So as Kenneth said, we're filming a mountain out over there, and we're trying to capture a really exotic group of colors with all the dark greens, light greens, yellows in the scene. I'm approaching it a little bit differently than Kenneth. He's doing the wide angle large single shot. What I'm building are large panoramas that go from one side to the other, and primarily so that I can get, my goal is to get as much detail in the shot as I can by combining a number of closer shots. But otherwise, the shot is set up exactly as Kenneth described. So I guess I should say something about actually how I set up a panorama. The first thing you'll notice is that the camera's in portrait mode. I like to shoot in portrait mode because it gives me a bigger square to work from, bigger rectangular to work from. And then as I set the camera up, first of all, you have to set the camera up so it is perfectly level across the whole plane of the photographs. That's really, really critical. It makes it much easier to stitch together later on. The second part is that when I'm taking photographs, I'm taking approximately a third of a scene as I go across. So in this particular mountain, I'm probably taking 7 to 8 shots as I slightly move the camera across the vista, and I'm taking each of the shots. And then finally, this is one of those cases where you really do need to shoot in manual mode because you want your exposure to be even from one side of the mountain through the other side. On a morning like this where we have sun on an angle off to the east, it's a morning shot. If I was trying to shoot in aperture mode, the one side of the panorama would be much darker than the other sides. One side would be dark, one side would be light. And that, again, makes it very difficult to stitch together and even more difficult to balance the light later on. You're now seeing Kenneth in his element, stalking the perfect white aspen. Perfectly lit, perfectly colored. Can he find it? You have to be wary when you're moving through the forest of the photographer hunting for that perfect white aspen. You do not want to startle them. They will come out ferocious. We've now spotted the female version of the photographer hunting for the perfect white aspen. Colored just right. Lit just right. Be careful not to startle her, because she will get angry and come at you. If you think a grizzly bear is dangerous, startle a female photographer in her pursuit of the perfect aspen, and you will pay for it. Thankfully, she doesn't know we're here. If we be very quiet, we can watch her at work. Here's another pretty shot that we took using this log as a bit of a leading line out into the colored tree in the background with the really white aspen trees. Really pretty area, really pretty shot. Also really love the way the ferns look in this, as they give you great ground cover. So as we were coming up this morning in Red Rover, we went through a large flock of sheep going down the road. And as they were going down the road, and unfortunately Kenneth was behind us and got fairly well covered by sheep poo as we went up the road. So Kenneth is going to need to clean his truck as it turns out. So we just finished wrapping up our shoot from this location. It's an absolutely gorgeous location looking down the road. The only thing is, of course, there's lots of busy cars coming up and down the road, so we have to be a little bit careful. It's a pretty straightforward picture. Pretty much, get it on the tripod and ISO 100 and use your polarizer to darken up that sky a little bit and bring up the color in the trees, but otherwise fairly straightforward photograph. So Corinne and Kenneth headed up this trail to go see if they could find some good color and some good light. To be honest, this kind of photography is not that interesting to me because I'm so colorblind that I really can't see the colors that they're talking about. So it never really makes any sense to me. So I stayed back and tried to fly the drone, and it just repeatedly crashed. We're above 10,000 feet, so we're at about 10,000 feet, and it just doesn't fly very well at altitude. So I decided to go for a little walk up the trail. It's a really pretty area. One of my favorite things about these forests are the pine trees that grow amongst the aspen. The dark green against the lighter green, orange, and yellow backgrounds really are pretty. And there's nothing like a forest in the fall. It's just a pretty area. Well, I found Corinne. She's way up on top of that hill, getting her tripod set up. I'm probably in her way right at the moment.
So this morning we've come into an aspen grove, and it's a nice set of mature trees. Down below on the lower level there's a nice walking path that goes through the forest. And what I've done is come up to the higher hillside and used some of the vertical trees with the white bark as the main image, and then they're side lighted or backlighted by some of the yellow aspen leaves. So it gives it some color from the white to the yellow.
So Kenneth, tell us what your process is for this photograph.
Well, something I've been looking for while we're up here is a dense group of aspen trees, and I'm not necessarily looking for color as much as I'm looking for beautiful tree trunks, and I want them to be pretty close together and lit well enough that you can see all the definition in the bark and stuff. This isn't quite the spot. It's not a horrible spot, and the lighting isn't quite what I would like it to be, but hopefully before we're done with this trip next Sunday I'll find that shot and maybe make it a gallery shot. You never know.
That's great. And again, this is the little grove that Kenneth is talking about. Tell us about why you're using the iPhone out here.
Well, I'm just messing about. Sometimes I just like to capture a little image for my daily journal and record where I've been for the day.
And what about when we go out reconnoitering?
Oh yeah, the phone's good for just kind of framing up the pictures, seeing what compositions you can make, and trying, you know, portrait, landscape orientations, and recording where you were when you caught that picture so that you can come back there. So this is one of a number of campsites that
Corinne and I have had, and actually Ken in this case, while we travel around to do color photography or colorful photography of leaves, our leaf peeping adventure. And like so many of them, it's sort of back in the bush a little bit. It's part of a dispersed camping area. Here's where we are, Red Rover, and Kenneth and his truck's down there. We're going to go off and do a little bit more exploring today, and probably take some more photographs a little later on this afternoon. Well, as we watch the shepherd bring its sheep out of the mountains, this brings another episode to a conclusion. Next week, we'll continue on with the colors of Colorado and hopefully get some more interesting and cool pictures. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button. If you'd like to keep track of us, please subscribe. Subscribing really helps us out and helps us continue to make these videos. And finally, if you'd like to keep track of us and know when videos get released, hit that bell button. And finally, don't hesitate to send us questions, thoughts, ideas down below in the comments. Take care. We look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.